The Family Education Rights and Privacy Act, or FERPA, is designed to help protect students' data when they're going to school. So in this video, let's cover what FERPA looks like. FERPA was created in 1974. Now, obviously, when a student goes to school, there's a lot of data that's collected about that student. Grades that they're getting inside of classes that they're taking, full transcripts, and their GPA, all that information gets collected. Well, FERPA defines what is done or how that information is protected, who has rights into that information, and how that information can be used. So who needs to comply with FERPA? Well, any schools that are getting money from the federal government. They can't get federal government money unless they're complying with FERPA. However, I've also seen this apply to other organizations, other businesses who are marketing and storing data for those schools. So it can have an indirect impact on these businesses where they have to comply with FERPA as well. Here are some of the highlights of FERPA. First of all, you have to understand who has rights under FERPA. And when it comes to student records, if that student is under 18, then the parents have the rights to do the requesting that happens under FERPA. And that shifts then and goes to the student when that student turns 18. So one of the things that they have a right to is the right to access educational records, to see what's on file for that student. Another right is the right to amend or ask for an amendment. Not necessarily that they're automatically given that amendment, but they can ask for those records to be amended. Another thing that it defines, that FERPA defines, is things around disclosure. So before an educational institution can give away information or expose information or hand it over to a third party, there are some definitions around it. First of all, there's a directory information, and the directory information is the information like the student's name, and where they don't need consent to hand over that information. However, there is certain information that the parent or the student must give consent before they hand that information over to another third party. And then there's exceptions to this as well, so it outlines what those exceptions are. There's also an annual notification requirement of what needs to be put out there to the students and to the parents as far as notifications around FERPA. And then there's also some stiff enforcement penalties that can vary depending on what the penalty or what the infraction is.